We have two commissioners absent, and those have been already noted. We already received notice, but we have a quorum. So would like to please join me on the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, well, moving on to agenda item number 3, the citizen comment period. Any citizens? Okay, thank you. Item 4 under business items, we have item 4A, approval of the minutes for December 13th, 2023, Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting. Those minutes have been distributed, and any comments or revisions to those minutes? Do I have an approval for those minutes?
I move to approve the meeting minutes for the December 13th meeting.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor? Approval of the meeting minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Item 4B, we have a development application by Comal Independent School District for a zoning change, rezoning from agriculture and agricultural homestead AG district to public and institutional P district for an 18-acre tract of land, known as Lot 1, Block 1, Comal ISD Garden Ridge, located at 9401 Municipal Parkway, Garden Ridge, Texas. The property is further considered as the location of Garden Ridge Elementary School, just here across the street from City Hall. Item B1 will be opening to hold a public hearing at 6:03. And is there anything I need to, Nancy?
You need to ask if there's anyone present that wishes to speak.
Okay. So moving on, so in regards to this agenda item, we're opening it up for a public hearing. And is there any citizens that are signed up to speak? You could do so here with Marissa, and she has a sheet here to sign in, and any comments or that you like.
I also just want to note that we did not receive any written comments.
Okay, thank you. I was about to ask. Thank you. Well, if there's no one signed up to speak, I will close the public hearing at 6:04. And we'll go on to item B2, discuss and make a recommendation on the rezoning. So in your packet, you have what's being rezoned, and from an agricultural homestead AG, and it's being requested for a public and institutional zoning, and it's the property is, it's obviously the Comal Independent School District Garden Ridge Elementary School, and it's being zoned for its proper use. And so, do I have any comments from from the commission?
Yes. After looking at the package, it appears that it's very straightforward as far as the rezoning. So I would just make a recommendation that we move to submit it to the city council as approval.
Perfect. I have a motion or any other discussion? Dr. Miller?
Second.
Have a second, Dr. Miller. Any other comments or discussion from the Planning and Zoning? Hearing none, I have a motion to approve, to recommend to City Council for the rezoning from an agricultural homestead to the public institutional district. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you. Moving to, we have the other business item 4C, the master development plan for the Cedar Hollow subdivision. This item is being pulled as we received a notice from our city manager that this item is being pulled, so we won't be discussing this item. Nancy?
Cedar Hollow subdivision most likely will not come back to planning and zoning. They have sold the property.
Oh,
Thank you for that update, Nancy. No action is necessary on this item. Item 4D, we have I guess that's the same thing, so that, apologize for that. 4D is also being pulled for the same reason as item 4C previously stated. On item 4E, items applicable to the Planning and Zoning Commission discussed at City Council meeting. I was not in attendance at the City Council meeting since we didn't have anything to report to the City Council due to the fact that we just had our last meeting was the kind of a Planning and Zoning 101 type refresher for some of our new commissioners. So there was nothing really to report to City Council. So I didn't get a chance to see the City Council meeting. But Nancy, if there's anything, or any of my fellow commissioners were in attendance that.
At City Council, there was actually at length discussion of Hanson properties acquired, I guess, 1,000 more acres at Schoenthal and 3009 that they plan to develop sometime in the future. I don't know, and I'm ignorant of the natural lifespan or how they go about that, but there was some discussion about things that concerned me as to whether or not it was within the city, it was outside the city limits and in the extraterritorial jurisdiction of, I think, New Braunfels, San Antonio, and Schertz. And so I found that confusing, but I think it was applicable for us to think about, if nothing else, at planning and zoning. They haven't asked for anything to come to us, but I know it's something that concerns the citizens of Garden Ridge considerably.
Thank you, Dr. Miller, Commissioner Miller. Nancy, is there anything else? I didn't.
No, the commission can watch the the streamed meeting. It was during council updates when they discussed that item about Hanson purchasing the property, and there's a lot of information in that, so you may want to review that.
Thank you, Nancy and Dr. Miller. Moving on to agenda, where are we? 4F, the Natural Features Overlay, the NFO District Technical Committee. We've been meeting, and we've had 3 meetings. It's been very successful meetings. I think we're moving on the right track. We actually met today, so it's going very well. I think what we're going to be, hopefully by the next meeting, we should have a draft proposal to the commissioners to review. We'll make sure to hopefully have that, obviously, we'll have that in the packet and for you all to review and know what's in the packet, know what's being changed. But I think it's going to be very good for a good tool that we're going to have in the ordinance that will incentivize a good incentives and make it a little bit easier to work with. So that's pretty much the update that I have. I'm not really going to get into the details, but we've been meeting, and we're going to have another meeting before our next planning and zoning meeting. And at that time, we should have something to the commissioners to approve and recommend to city council. So that's pretty much what I have updated to update the commission on the NFO technical committee. Any other comments? I know.
No, Nancy, did you want to say anything on this?
Like Chairman Jackman said, we've met 3 times. We're reviewing the NFO. We've gone into quite a bit of some extensive review of it. We've had, Bryce has developed diagrams to show us the impact of the NFO. Hopefully, we will have hopefully our final meeting in right before, well, the same day as our planning and zoning meeting, and that we'll be able to finalize and have something to bring forward to you possibly in April. But it is moving along.
Thank you, Nancy. Moving on to item 4G, future agenda items. Is there any future agenda items for us to consider and like to propose?
Yes.
Yes.
The Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, AMPO, conducted a walkability workshop here in Garden Ridge on the 27th of June of last year. The Planning and Zoning Committee had an opportunity to review the workability study with the representatives from AMPO on August 9th of last year. And then we made a recommendation to the City Council, which approved the AMPO information, the recommendations in the study to move forward on October of 23. I would like the Planning and Zoning Commission to take up 2 of the recommendations of the AMPO study, one being the city's speed limit and the other being marked crosswalks. And that would be in future meetings for us to have further discussion and consideration and then action on these 2 recommendations. I think in total there were 5 recommendations on the AMPO study. I have just signaled 2. The reason I think it's important that we address these now is, and Nancy can speak to this perhaps, is that the AMPO study, while approved by City Council for further action in the future, it could be a very long time before any type of funding is seen for the recommendations that they made. So having said that, I think immediately we could take into consideration the lowering of the speed limit in the city, which is, as we know right now, for the most part in our subdivisions is 30 miles an hour. And then crosswalks, which I think would, not just the Federal Department of Transportation has extensive information and background on how lowering the speed limit and putting in marked crosswalks will significantly help reduce traffic incidents. So that's just my future recommendation item. I'd like to hear some discussion if anybody has any discussion on that. Right, yeah, that's what I meant.
So yeah, we can discuss it right now.
Right,
But we
correct.
could certainly place that on an agenda item so we
Okay,
could
great.
further have discussion on this
Okay.
item.
Excellent.
And see how we could go from,
Thank you.
move forward. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other comments from from the commission on any future agenda items for the next meeting? No? Okay. We have no other future agenda items, and we'll go ahead and move on to citizen comment period, agenda item number 5. Thank you. Apologize. I want to backtrack just a little bit back to the future agenda items. Item 4G, I failed to announce our next meeting. Planning and zoning meeting is March 13th, 2024, here, 6 p.m. here at City Hall. So back to item 5, the citizen comment period. Do we have any citizens that would like to speak? No? Okay, so no citizens signed up to speak. Going on to item 6, adjournment. It's 6:17, so we are adjourned. Thank you.
Somebody have to make a motion.
No, Jesse told it for the last meeting that we don't have to.
Make a motion for adjournment?
Just say.
Interesting.
No.